here.
Hi.
I'm here with Michael Carpenter.
Hey everybody,
in
how
his
you going?
room here at the House Studios. We were just making a video and Michael said, oh, you've got a Deluxe Reverb. I have a Tonemaster Deluxe Reverb. And I was like, how many people have done a direct comparison with a vintage 1967 Deluxe Reverb versus the Tonemaster? I know there's been a lot of reissues versus sort of tube things versus Tonemaster. And I'm just fascinated by this whole thing. I actually have never heard one until about 80 seconds ago or something. So we're going to have a bit of a chat about it. And we're going to play a bit of Gibbo. We're going to play a bit of Tele.
Yep.
It's not like we're short of guitars in here.
Yeah,
we might try a few different things.
Yeah.
So
look,
let's kick it off.
The interesting thing about the Tonemaster series, the Fender Tonemaster series, from my understanding, is it's a digital emulation that does one thing. It emulates the Deluxe. There's also a twin version of it as well. I don't know the fancy thing. I have to go and look in the back of it, which I probably won't do while the cameras are on, to talk about what speakers are in it and stuff like that. But so it's a digital emulation with a speaker box and it's a digital amp, to emulate the original Deluxe. And
like the first thing I noticed before I even switched the things on is that we were doing the setup and I went to pick it up and literally, you know, when you try and pick something up and you're expecting it to be a lot heavier than I was just like that, and you know, like I've got chicken arms.
Yeah.
So
it's very, very light. It's like it only weighs like 1.5 kilos or something like that.
Unbelievable. Versus the, you know, and this is actually quite a light one, and it's probably 15 kilos.
Yes, it's a heavy amp.
So, you know, like if you're doing a gig, you're parking around the corner, those 200 yards or whatever, like carrying 15 kilos and your guitar and your pedal board and all that shit.
The way it works out when I'm taking this amp to gigs is I'm taking that in one hand, a guitar usually in a soft bag over my shoulder, pedal board on a soft bag over my shoulder, and another bag, so I'm doing one trip into the gig.
Wild.
For an old guy like me, that's a big consideration.
Yeah, just one thing on the sound, I've got a pedal board plugged in and I've got a Sugar Drive, very, very low, just giving a little bit of extra
oomph. Now, the first thing we did, of course, Simon got his sound up the way that he was comfortable with, and I matched it, pretty much essentially the same. The only concession that we've made is we turned my amp a little bit up a little bit more, and we've now turned it down a little bit, and we've added a little bit more top end, which is what I think has been consistent with other friends who've done comparisons. Sure. There's a little bit more top end on this. But in general, we're comparing apples to apples. So
I'm going to play a little bit, and Michael's going to be the pedal switcher because I just can't manage to do that at the same time.
Yeah. And when you're listening, I mean, I think that the original Deluxe will be at the left a bit more, and the Tonemaster will be at the right.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Ooh. So I've got a bit of AC Booster action. It sounds right.
There's no losers there, folks.
No. I would say probably there's a bit more reverb on my amp there, so I might just give that a little bit of a nudge down. I am a sucker for the reverb though, can I tell you? So that's...
Goes all right.
It's pretty interesting. Okay, so that was a bit of boost, that was a bit of drive. Let's just do a quick guitar switch.
Yeah, I think it is very interesting that that sometimes, as we talked about in one of the earlier videos that we did today, purists will say to you that you can only do things a particular way, you can only use a particular piece of gear or whatever. And I think one of the great things about being here in 2022, and if you're watching this in years to come, it will be further advanced, is the fact that these are all great tools, and the Deluxe isn't necessarily going to be the amp for everything. And the Tonemaster may not be the exact amp, but I've had a lot of success using this in the studio. There's a lot of things about this amp that the original doesn't have. It has a switchable voltage at the back, so that's at full 22 watts, I think it is, but I've done gigs and I've done sessions down at half a watt or 1 watt or 5 watts where you can actually dial in the sweet spot of where the amp is doing what it needs to do.
Yeah.
And that's something you can't necessarily do with the Deluxe because it has no master volume.
Well, and that's something as when I do shows, something I really, really notice is that at some shows it's beautiful because you can turn it up enough and the room's the right size, and it's just like you have the moment of just like, oh, it's just so beautiful. But then there's other gigs I've played where they're like, okay, it's too loud, okay, it's too loud, and then you brought it down and it just feels like it's just not a fun time.
The great thing about this guy, about the Tonemaster, is that you can keep your gain structure into the amp intact, your virtual gain structure intact, and just pull down the output. And it does a really good job of that. I did a gig a couple of weeks ago where we were in a quiet room with a listening audience, and it was a very much acoustic kind of thing. And I had it on like 1 watt. Yeah. But the tone stayed intact, and I could hear it fine. And it's got a direct output as well, a really, really good sounding direct output. Yeah. So we didn't run a microphone in front of it; it just ran straight out. And it was great. Well, it's got 2 virtual speakers. Yeah, right. Speaker emulations, and it works great.
They didn't have those in '96.
No. So there's a lot of things about it. So
yeah.
Carry on.
Let's Telecaster. Bridge pickup.
Which one are we listening to even? Let's find out.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Like, pretty good. Let's have a look at the other one. Both pretty cool.
Both good?
Okay, let's have a little bit of something different.
Must be more waterman out of this guy.
It sounds pretty good.
They both sound really good.
Yeah, what an interesting experience. Let's give it a bit of the rock. What can we pull out in here? It's always hard when you're on camera and you're like, I've got to think of something to play and I'm trying to talk to you and make myself seem sensible. Yeah, right.
Look, I think the thing about it, I mean
they are different. Right?
They are different. And again, it comes back to the thing that we talked about in another video, and many people will talk to you about. There's a difference. They're not the same amp. They were made in completely different ways. They're using different kind of circuitry. The whole thing. One is emulating the other, and there's still variables. There's still variables in terms of gain structures and stuff like that. Different speakers. I don't know what speaker you got in the back of yours. I don't know what I've got in mine either.
No.
The thing I'm mostly hearing in here, sitting in front of the room, in the room.
Just to rudely interrupt a second. We will write exactly what speakers are.
Yes, we will.
In the description.
That saves me having to bend over in front of the camera and look at the speaker. Nobody needs to see that, folks. What I feel like I'm hearing mostly is a different speaker. Your speaker feels like it's got a little bit more depth than what the Tonemaster has.
Well, and that's why.
And of course they make different Tonemasters. So this is just a stock standard one, and then there's a more the tweed one or whatever it's called, which has got a different speaker in it and stuff like that. So there's variables, but if you want to talk about, I'm in the ballpark of playing a Fender amp through a Deluxe.
Yeah.
They're both options. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We will see you next time. This is Michael Carpenter. My name's Simon. Please do subscribe, hit the button, all that sort of stuff. If you would like extra things from me, including lessons, charts, access to a chart library, there's a whole bunch of things over at patreon.com/Simon Morel. I will see you next time. Please do check out Michael and all his work. I'll link his website and all that sort of stuff in the description. And we will see you next time.
See you next time.
Ciao. Bye.